Whoa. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Here we are today, guys. We are here. Sorry, for everyone who's gonna watch it in the recording. Might as well I'll go crazy here. What's up, Jeremy? Jeremy Parker. What's going on? So today we're gonna talk about some arm wrestling stuff, some East versus West, waiting on one, not waiting, kind of waiting. You know what? Me and Paul were supposed to be here in this time, but I do wanna make this adjustment where I, I was gonna start a podcast, start talking about stuff, and whenever my guests feeling like coming in, we're gonna come in, talk about his upcoming match. Don't wanna drag too many people for the time that don't want to be part of it. Of course, I'm sick as fuck right before my match. Jeremy, it does happen. It's not the end of the world. Sometimes you may think as uh what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you just recover. Your body wants to put extra work, right, to recover you. Sometimes you come back stronger, recover. So it's all right. Yeah, your match, it's not even that bad. Your match is on the same day. uh, oh Oh no, you guys pulled it this weekend, huh? Damn. Yeah, it's alright. Tuesday, you might feel good by Saturday. It's alright. If you are feeling a little bit under weather, Jeremy, my suggestion will be um take your 50 milligrams of zinc right now and keep taking it every 4 hours until you're feeling good actually. So zinc every 4 hours, maybe a little bit L-lysine. That's another one. If you're in that kind of like coldish, fluish situation. So yeah, some zinc. 50 minutes. Yep. I think that's a regular tablet, but I think that's one of the main things because it's. Oh, what does zinc do for you? It's anti. Is it antiviral or whatever? I forget, but whatever. Whenever you feel under the weather, zinc every 4 hours until you feel better, and then that should knock out about any bad feeling that you're experiencing. So there's that. Sorry guys, let me check out. I went to Nashville back in May, and I need to check something. Need to check some pictures here. What's up, Jennifer Learned? What's up, Benji Mac? Benji, I probably want to talk to you about unrelated to California stuff, but still would like to talk to you. I think. Armenian Arm Wrestler. Is it? But if I forgot what's the Armenian greeting. All right, guys, I'm back with you officially. You know what? Let's pull up East versus West card real quick. So as we're waiting on Poland to join us, um, I kind of had to do well. I mean, obviously, I did some research on Bogdan, and I made a video about him a little bit earlier, just a quick one, I think, for Facebook. I don't know if I released it. Anyhow, the way I've talked about it and my view of one Bogdan Stoika was fairly low. I didn't know he was actually that big and that good. I thought his level was a little bit under, and but kind of by looking at everything fairly quickly, I still believe like I was correct. I believe Paul is the favorite here. However, man, that's a little bit different match than from what I was expecting. Um, sorry, it's uploading, but there we have it. This is what we're talking about today. Stoica and Linn, 209 weight class. I don't know how updated all those pictures are. Paul looks massive here. That's incredible. I'm gonna ask him if he joins, but anyway, let's tell Paul an invite. So whenever he is ready and he is home, we're going to invite him to this thing. Oh, Paul texted me. He was ready 5 minutes ago. 4 minutes ago. Alright, guys, the link is sent to one Paul Linn, and Paul is ready himself. So we're going to talk about his match. I kind of wanted to highlight Jeremy's problem because I think so much happening, especially when it's like you also like it's important for you. I think I've gotten sick. I've gotten those phantom pains where like you're feeling like arm is in pain, but everything been fine all the way until um. What else? What else? What else? Ask Paul what he thinks of me. Where's Logan? Yeah, I'm live, son. Oh, I'm podcasting. Let's talk it. You good? Nothing. Not yet. Not yet. 50 milligram before lifting. That way the whole gym knows what you're working with. No, you actually need a hundo. 50 is a half a dose, man. If you're professional, you know the things are. Maybe a hundo, maybe wait a little bit, an hour or two, then yeah, y'all can go. Hey Jeremy, what arm is you guys pulling? Right or left? I may have asked it before because I've highlighted that Logan is one of those like left-handed weirdos nowadays, right? What else can happen to you before your match? You get sick, you get phantom pains, my travel have gotten so bad to where travel changed everything about my match. And well, not really even travel, but sleeping and stuff. All that affects you. Right arm is Logan, left is Easton. Man, well, Logan. I think Logan with his with the whole left-handed stuff should have pulled Easton left-handed. Doesn't sound too bad. Are you pulling soon, or Artem, or chilling for the holidays? No, I'm super kind of busy right now. I have this big thing in 2 weeks. I'm pulling Bob Brown and Oleg Moise. We discussed it a little bit on the previous live, but a big event out in California. So training for that. Then have Florida State. I come and just arm wrestle at, but that's it. And then like the next state schedule is in March. But my thing is coming up here. Hey, what's going on, one and only Paul Linn?
What's happening?
How's it doing? How you doing, guy?
I'm doing good. For whatever reason, the volume's real low on this. It's weird.
I hear you just perfectly, to be honest. So I don't know.
It's probably my end. For whatever reason, it doesn't seem to be coming out on the speaker, but it's all good.
I hear you, nice and beautiful. Hold on, man. I'm dying of this. I don't know my chest. Let me take my bitters. You tell people how beautiful you are.
What's going on, people in the chat? Can't really read that chat, but I do see it's going down there. Side pressure Prince, love it. Where are we at here? Hold on, let me see if I can fix this. Volume.
Gas in my chest, man. So for everybody, Jeremy Parker, I got another health solution for you. If you ever feel like I just feel and I can't even talk right now, yeah, for everybody who experiencing indigestions, bloatedness, whatever, if you eat lots of food and then you talk like absolute like just like you take a little bit of that and then removes all of the things in your body.
Okay. What are you taking there? What is that?
It's called Urban Bitters. So so it helps kind of right away. Look, what? Hold on.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's focused now. So whenever it's for different reasons, for different things, like kind of you can use like Tums almost, right? But
okay.
For
like
me,
an antacid.
Yeah, for sure. It fixes a lot of that. But for me, like I know, like if I ate lots of food or for some whatever, like I definitely gonna have hard time talking because like this just whatever like this weird shit happening in my throat or stuff, like takes hard to digest. One drop of that and all that just goes away. Like I can,
nice.
You know what I'm saying? So
you're gonna have to send me a link on that because I get indigestion all the time.
And every time I see somebody, if you know how it is, you with a bunch of arm wrestler after lunch somewhere, and also you're talking to somebody and they're like burping and they can't talk, and it's like whatever. I'm like, yo, take this, and I was like, ooh, like everything is soothed down. It's pretty interesting.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah. Like for me, just I don't know. Now I remember that I couldn't talk and that worked out, but Parsons. Whenever Parsons feeling that he waking up to in the morning with the fucking heartburn or whatever, oh
yeah,
where are the drops? Where are the drops, man? Pretty useful stuff. So
good.
Sir, you are arm wrestling here, and actually, I looked it up. It's like in 18 days.
Yeah, it crept up real quick.
18 days, 1 hour and 13 minutes. How did
start the clock? Start the countdown.
18 days away. So I made a little video I think prior. I don't know if it's posted on Facebook or not, but I give my little prediction, and my prediction was heavily based on Bogdan Stoica that pulled Ryan Bowen years ago, right? And like Bogdan ain't shit. Like, what are we talking about here? Who pulled off? Like, who gave Bogdan this amazing opportunity? Listen, man, we see you struggle at Arm Wars. You know they're not much views there. It's time to be the big leg. But
I don't know, man. The guy pulled
hold on. I know. Hold on. Let me finish my trash talk before like and Pickup gets angry with me. Shit. So, but somehow I'm like, let me make sure I do my research because I've heard like I think you said that he beat your previous opponent. I'm like, who the hell Paul has pulled and Bogdan has pulled? And I'm doing my research and I'm like, Bogdan. First of all, he's huge. Like he's actually like tall. Like he's a big human being, and he's actually kind of strong too.
Yeah,
I think I'm not changing my prediction. I think I'm still correct. I think you're a heavy favorite. But what do you think when you got this phone call? Like you're pulling Bogdan. Like what's going through your head?
Well, there was a couple potential matches, and honestly, of the matches that were proposed, that to me sounded like the best one.
Just so in the page, the match was not proposed to me. Continue.
So I mean, the name was floated, and like, I think it's a tough test, and that's a lot of that's based off of the guy has pulled like a ton of people. It's not a great like scenario in that like I'm so used to being given these guys that I'm supposed to get killed by, which is kind of my comfort zone. I like that. So this is the perception is a little bit different, and especially because like even Arson was a known US puller. Like a lot of people that he came off a East versus West win against Andre and all that good stuff. So there was a little bit more there. But Bogdan has pulled something crazy like 48 matches or something in the past couple of years, like some ridiculous number. Like since the Bowen match or something, like 48 matches, some crazy. And I know common opponents and common barometers that say this is a good matchup, you know? And ultimately, I think it's a very interesting test for me with the unknown, right? Like a dedicated shoulder roll / presser with a ton of speed. Like I pulled hook pullers and top rollers and all that good stuff, but this is like uncharted territory. Like I've pulled guys in practice who shoulder roll, but that's different off a ready go. So I think it's really interesting, and it's tricky in that the guy's like a really nice guy too. And I'm like genuinely looking forward to the match because I think it's going to be very respectful and like healthy and all that good stuff. But he's definitely not going to give me any like quote unquote locker room material to get my juices flowing. So that can be a disadvantage too. But I think it's going to be a real good match. And I think, you know, if the cards come out the deck right, we could wind up with like a really entertaining match. And I don't see it being finished the same way over and over. I think it's going to be different options are going to have to be tried.
Interesting. Is Bogdan looks like, you know, if you can get him out of his shoulder roll, he like adapts to different stuff?
Yes. He's very comfortable after he loses the round too. So like, you know, a lot of people hit the panic button if they feel the first, you know, that first initiation, if they feel and things slow down or they back off or now all of a sudden their timing's off. That's not going to be like the guy's been in arm wars and pulled all these crazy matches and, you know, in these death war scenarios and stuff. But I mean, we're talking, I mean, he's coming off of impressive wins over Jason Rouleau. I mean, he top rolled Arsen Bishadrian, who I pulled like very comfortably. He shoulder rolled Paul Cruz.
I could not find that match. What happened there? So when did they pull and what?
That I'm not sure what promotion that was at. Hold on one second. My dogs are out here.
Oh, you go crazy. I'm just gonna read the comments. Paul, we're able to train Armas and business, football, and coaching family. We're gonna ask you that. Drew, are you driving down to Ontario event? Most likely not. Oh, come on, Drew. Drew can show up to the event in Vegas, but can't drive to California. Come on, man.
Sorry about that. I got 10-week-old puppies who get after each other.
You're good. As soon as you leave, I'm promoting a different event. That's my rule.
No, what were we leaving off? What did we leave off on there? The Arsen match?
Yeah. What's good? You don't know where they pulled.
I think it was maybe like one of Talmadge's events or something out West Coast.
Okay, that's possible.
Washington or Arizona or something. But it was super match and like they went back and forth a couple different places and Bogdan found an outside move and just totally took control of it. Interesting. And then he pulled Paul Cruz, who I train with pretty often, and I know where his level's at, and he just shoulder rolled through him like bang, bang, bang. So there's, you know, the Jason Rouleau match, the Paul Cruz match, the Arsen match tells me that this is going to be tricky.
Yes, I got to see Jason's a little bit for sure. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that happened, and that I feel like that was a good match for Bogdan too, because I'm like, oh, they both tall, you know what I mean? They're both actually matching up pretty well in their size and stuff. So like, what's going on technique wise? So yeah, but I'm excited to see this one actually. I feel like you're gonna be the favorite technicality anyway, but it will be interesting to see if Bogdan does. I mean, you said that he changes to like whole outside move, but it will be interesting to see what his adjustment will be, because I think a Euro will be a hard person to press unless your opponent is so much stronger than you.
Right. I mean, I think it's going to come down to timing, a couple like setup things for that lane, but I've never been tested there really, you know, other than practice. So to me, it's that like, you know, Like I haven't pulled like an elite flopper or elite like shoulder roller committed, you know, who is killing people off the go with it. So it's tricky, you know, and I think there's going to have to be plan A, plan B, plan C potentially for both of us.
Right, yeah, because like it's pretty, especially with your technique, it's probably pretty easy to set up against that initial press, make it uncomfortable, and then you're gonna have to dance around, see what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've pulled who was a good presser that weight? It's from California or like out west. Gage.
Yeah. Gage. I can't. What is his last name?
I think Gage Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gage was like, man, like I think he. I mean, he was smacking people one hand there for a second. I do like I knew when pulling him, like I could adjust a bit differently because like my weird like hook, my anti-press like axis is weird. Like I'm trying to set off all the way like opposite way and kind of get them on the shoulder. But man, like yeah, he was one of the dudes who's like everybody. If you're not ready for it, just quick, nice and easy little flop, and then. Yeah, even if you're ready for it and he happens to be stronger than you, or it's hard to get around. Yeah. So
yeah,
it will be interesting to see what you got going on there, Poland. And
we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. That's what makes the stuff fun, though, right? A little bit of the unknown. We'll see.
So I guess it's interesting what you said too, and I guess I didn't know how often you're in that predicament. So is it like one of your first times? Pulling, like in the past, like 2-3 years, pulling somebody that's actually kind of an underdog, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could have said the same thing about Arson. I think similar like scenario.
I think Arson was like very unknown. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like Arson was almost like, man, that could have gone like either way, probably. Mm-hmm. But also for sure, like as far as that stage is concerned, he was mostly coming up for sure. But here is slightly different. Like it's not as a young dude. The guy like did like it's different things. Like some dudes like come out of nowhere and you have to arm wrestle them. Some dudes been around the block for a second and you might have to adjust your perception. Like this guy's not good. Like no, motherfucker had 4-8 matches proving people wrong.
Yeah, experience like his experience is through the roof. Like in the super match format and everything. Like it would take me 10 more years to catch up to the amount of super matches this guy's had. Like it's not going to happen. So he's very calm in his mind state. Like his mental, like where he's at is like very on point. Like the way he looks at competition, which those intangibles and those variables are really, really important. And I think a lot of times we know tons of guys out there who are great arm wrestlers. And you practice with them and you're like, oh my gosh. And then even if it's a lower, like a local tournament, something ain't right on the go and in the setup when they compete. But like somebody like this who is competing in these high level super matches, highly produced super matches over and over and over and over and over is built for that type of stuff, and the way he looks at winning and losing is like a true profession.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you have that amount of matches and lose some, you have to stay healthy, like mentally, like how do you take all that?
Well, I know he said some like he hasn't lost a right-handed match in a hook in like ever. So, or not like ever in like years or something crazy. So like he's definitely got something going on for sure. And then you look at the recent practice pulls and stuff with Devin. I mean, practice is practice, but we also know who Devin is, so the guy is really, really good.
All right. So are you more worried or less worried?
Than what?
I guess in general, like compared to your matches like in the past year, and considering that's what you're dealing with, like you're dealing with somebody that like, I mean, you don't really know how that if you lose, it's not like you are losing to like you're not losing to David Samusha, you're losing to Bogdan Soika, who's like there's different, not like I'm not saying like in some disrespectful, but there's different pathways, right?
Right.
So are you less worried, more worried? Where you at?
So I think again that stuff just comes down to perception, and like what's out there drives perception of the fan or anybody looking at any of these promotions. So to me, if like I understand the guy's level, like I understand he's a serious puller. To me, beating him is an accomplishment. And also, if I were to lose to him, is not like a shortfall either. So like if I'm like my mind state is I want to go in there and get tested in the lane that I don't normally get tested in. So, you know, I'm more excited about having the match and gaining the experience. I'm not at this juncture. I don't think you can come into these matches at all being worried about the outcome. I think that's like tricky. I think that's like it's a catch-22. If you focus so much on the outcome, then that's what puts those little seeds of doubt in your head mid-match. That's what causes you to hit the panic button. But if you are, you know, you believe that, you know, the work's been done and you're in, you know, the best possible condition that you can be in, then the outcome is really already predetermined. So I try to deal with every match that way. Now, obviously, when I'm a heavy underdog, you have that feeling of like, all right, I can throw haymakers here and it doesn't matter, and I can try whatever, whenever, and you know, there's no risk in making a mistake per se, you know. Whereas if it's a closer match, a scenario like this, you might think about, hey, what are my choices? What are my choice points in this match, and how do I optimize them? But ultimately, I'm not like we had a little joking conversation about it yesterday with Ray, and I'm like, at the end of the day, it's just arm wrestling. You know what I mean? Like you win, you lose, like great. But I mean, we all love to do it. And we love the punch out, the blackout period, the 20 minutes where you're competing and the rest of the world stops and there's nothing else that matters in those moments. So we do all this preparation for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and do all this stuff that hurts and sucks for those 20 minutes. Why would we add any stress to that? You know?
Right. Okay. I like it. And with what you said too, isn't it crazy that you can put all the amount of work and you know the day like and you're there the day off and kind of like in that, you know, 3 to 20 minutes, this is like all that matters to you, right? Nothing else really important. And all that's crazy to me, like I've seen Pablo do that. I've seen him like be at the event, go crazy, and then he will get frustrated whether he can out cheat it or whatever going on with the setup to where he'll just like, you know what, I'm not getting what I want, I'm laying down. Like I'm like, you know, this is bullshit. Like I'm not even partaking in it. I'm like, dude, this is like another level of like, I'm so greedy about my shape and everything. I feel like if I'm there the second off, like dude, I don't care like what's going on. Like I want the thing to start. You know what I mean? Like let's do something. So ability to kind of drop that ego and be like, you know, kind of knowing you're not in the best circumstances and knowing how much time and effort you put in, be like, yeah, that's all right. You can win this match. I'm like, yo, like that's like the definition. Like, all right, they're just arm wrestling. Like, okay, like I don't need to fight about it. Like, dude, crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. And like you talk about like that blackout period, nothing else mattering. Like, I mean, if we're in round 3 of one of these matches and somebody called me and was like, your dog's in the hospital or something, I don't know if that would matter. In that moment, I'd be like, okay, give me 5 minutes. Give me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's so weird to think about that, which is crazy, you know? Like, did you ever think about what if you got a call in the middle of a match? Something like that.
You cannot bring this up. My dog just fucking died a week ago.
Oh,
okay?
no, my bad.
Like,
well, I could have said my mom. Let's say my mom.
My mom!
Your mom's in the hospital.
Oh my God!
Your mom's in the hospital. Well, give me 10 minutes.
Dude, what the fuck throwing you pulled in? I have 2 things in my life I had. My dog and my mom. One is dead. You're now killing another person.
Okay, you're dead. Let your uncle, your niece, whatever.
Hey, can I go about my? Well, you know, you're right. Let's talk about my dad, but I never met my dad. I never really cared that much. So like,
yeah, that's why I didn't say my dad.
Sure, okay. My mom was in the hospital, and I'm losing. Who am I losing to? Am I losing to Ryan Bowen, or is
you're losing to Ryan Bowen? It's 2-0. You're going into the 3rd round, and you have a great game plan.
hey, moms, you fucking take the ibuprofen. I'm about to be
Yeah,
there.
just hang on. Just hang on. I'll
I
be
might,
there
I
when I
might
can get
turn
there.
this around. I might turn this around.
The doctors are good. I trust the doctors.
but but yeah, if it's like 2-3, if it's like 2-0 really bad, and I'm pulling like some mushy or some shit, like I'm like, yo, you got this one, big dog.
Yeah.
My mom's in bad shape, man.
Uh,
Artem looks like Mr. Potato Head. Well, you know what? At least it was a super match, so I respect that.
and so,
And it looked like, and the profile picture looked kind of female-ish, so I respect some female trash talk. For $2, I look like whatever.
yeah.
At least I look like something famous. There was a good question for you too here, and that's I'm also surprised with that actually. Paul, have you been able to train arm wrestling, being busy with football, coaching, and family? What's
Yes.
your training been like?
So I touched on this on the other podcast too. It's not about being able to do it. It's about being able to assign the emotional energy to it. You know, football can be like a very emotional energy suck. You know, you got a whole bunch of kids, and now I got 2 levels I'm dealing with, and they require, they kind of take, you know, that lifeblood, that stuff that gets you fired up to really go and crush the gym, you know, or crush a workout. So the combination of being in football season and not having an opponent or anything locked in. So of course I always train, because training is like brushing my teeth. I don't feel right if I don't do it. But the emotional intensity is not as strong when I have the other focus. So like my numbers are good, you know, like never did I skip a workout, or never did I skip a table session. It's just a little bit different when you assign a little bit more intensity to it. So, you know, reprogram. But this is every year. This is not something new. I've been arm wrestling now for 10 years. It's been 10 football seasons that I've dealt with this, you know, so it's not new. I've been there. You know, I think my numbers right now are like, some of them, especially arm wrestling specific, are good, like better, you know, and my general gym stuff is right where it should be. I feel good. My body weight's good. I didn't get football fat this year that much. I knew I had a date coming up at some point, so I kept the carbs low, which that's always a tricky part for me when the season is so crazy and I don't get done. Like it's 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. It's 7 days a week, nonstop. So that forces me to eat sloppy sometimes. But I was able to regiment myself through this. End of the day, I'm like 217, 218 right now. Pretty lean, pretty healthy. Like everything feels pretty good. So all is well. And the old this stuff is now I don't know how many months in on a little bit more focus like this. Everything is really good.
Oh man, I'm jealous. As soon as you did that, I feel like my arm got hurting.
No, it feels good. It's weird. You know, people talk about the conjugate thing and, you know, this blasting sideways and all this different stuff. And I have found that it's created a conditioning in my elbow that like, I really don't, I mean, I get sore. Like I get like something in my arm after practicing around here somewhere is always sore, but good sore. But when you talk about that right there, like not being able to touch that is like gone. Like, the conditioning aspect of the conjugate, like, yeah, it's like, it's hard on the CNS when you are just grinding sideways. And you know as well as anybody, Artem, because you've been at this for a couple of years. Like, you know what it feels like when you have a max effort day and you do 6-7 sets leading up on some weird movement, like blacking out, central nervous system through the roof, legs shaking, crazy. And then you go back and do it again the next day. Like the adaptations, they take place and your body kind of gets accustomed to it. And it's weird. Like I still get sore from arm wrestling, but it's just not in the same places.
Right. It changes, right? You kind of that your biceps tendon overall start to handle it. Pretty sure,
Yeah.
like you're okay there, right?
Yep.
But everything else, like maybe your inner elbow gets irritated because you're doing too much of that. Maybe shoulders, the pain things changes. And you know what's funny too? Side pressure. So yeah, what I would say unorthodox. uh it's funny, you're gonna get in more pain by people matching that.
Yeah.
Like you hear Todd doesn't really talk about pain. Todd is in pain when me and Todd pull each other. Like
Yeah.
Todd comes up the next day like, you motherfucker. I'm like,
Yeah.
the same. Like me and
Yeah.
Todd look at each other with our arms in amateur pains because like that
Yeah.
side pressure lane just it hurts. It
Yeah.
hurts this high. And what you said too, like yeah, I think, and I'm trying to overcome the same thing you just said because like my right inner elbow here like feels a little bit like it's the best way, like tender, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
after the tournament, I'm babying it, but like dude, I think my best gains came from it's constantly being kind of shut out and tender, but because there's a schedule in mind, like
Yeah.
that Wednesday for me it's max effort day, and if the side pressure schedule, like that was the thing I think that drove my progress that for that one summer, is that like I just gotta do it, and
Yeah.
it sucked because like you starting with your elbow like
Yeah.
screaming sometimes, you know what I mean? Like dude,
Oh yeah.
and today is max effort day, and I'm supposed to PR this, and somehow you kind of usually can. That's
Yeah.
what makes it
Well,
interesting.
you find a way. You know, you're chasing the progress, you're tracking it, so you find a way. And what's interesting, and me and you could probably geek out on this stuff forever. That's why
Right.
our podcasts are so weird. Um, but when I first started doing it, and then like I got like a couple months into it, I sent a couple videos to Todd, said, critique, tell me what I need to do better. Like he's like, you're pushing too much. You need to be more here. And like in line or outside of your shoulder. And I was like, really? Like I like in my mind, I'm like, aren't like I'm looking at you and I'm thinking you're doing this. And then he's like, no, you got it. And then he was like, there, and also keep in mind, there's no right way. Your body will find its best way. And like in my head, I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that I can go here. And like I started doing it and I'm like, ooh, that's where I'm better anyway. So
Right.
like now, like I'm kind of cycling through a little bit of certain days I'm doing a little bit more push and certain
Okay.
more I'm doing a little bit more straight side drive. But what I've learned is from this position, I am significantly better, which I kind of knew and I thought I shouldn't be doing that. But it's weird, like figuring out like the different setups, the wraps and the straps and the handles and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. But yeah, and I really enjoy the conditioning aspect of it, like to my joints. Like, and I hear Todd so much say, like, well, I'm not usually in too much pain when I'm training. And I'm like, I think you've just gotten to a point where you register the pain differently because the stuff that he's doing is 100% painful. It
Well,
just might not wind up translating into lingering pain. But we all know when we put something on there that we can't move and we go like that is painful.
yeah. And you know uh what I've learned so far, I've learned that especially with my left hand, I also do it not necessarily even this and this. Let me see if I can do it here. But I've noticed my right arm, I'm kind of like I'm fairly straight. With my left arm, I'm kind of tilted. I'm a little bit tucked in to where there's a lot of more triceps elbow involved.
Yeah.
I've noticed like it's a it's like I don't know 2 degrees tilt. Like literally, my right will be somewhat this, my left will be just slightly. And I don't know if
Yeah.
it's injuries. I try to keep my shoulder there, but I mean, I my left side pressure does feel like kind of easier to do, but I do believe because like there's a
I think it's
there's a tiny bit of triceps, some like my position, a little like literally a degree or two different,
yeah.
but Yeah, it's a different exercise almost.
I think
And
it's I think it's shoulder integrity, dude. And my
okay,
left side is different too, in that I don't have this, like, because of lack of shoulder integrity. So my left is way like this, like,
right, okay,
and that's where its sweet spot is further out because my shoulder can't keep it in. And
okay.
maybe you have a little bit more on that
Left,
left side.
left, yeah, maybe because my left, the way I train my left triceps, I think is a little different. Like they look different, you know. I mean, my left elbow have had way more pops, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So affect my hand and all that shit.
Yeah, but
But
it kind of goes back to what Todd's saying, like your body's going to find its optimal way. And it
exactly.
makes sense that it would look different on both arms. And it definitely is different on both arms for me.
Right, yeah, for sure. Plus, also when you like incorporate like how Travis will recommend to do stuff, or how Travis takes the weight off. I think the way Travis takes the load off, it kind of helps too. Like Travis is the type of guy, like I've seen it a lot, like his high pressure machine, and I incorporate that in some of my like really sore side pressure days. Because Travis will like, will is there like a thing for me to grab here? I'm gonna grab my purse and it'll be a $2 super chat. So this purse, this $1,000 Fender bag, that thank you for $2 super chat. If I squeeze it enough, it will squirt. But if that's the cable, right? You'll grab this thing and you'll go sideways, right? Travis, if there's the cable going this way, Travis likes to, yeah, he will grab it with it, so your forearm and the cable makes one line, and so there's no all this pressure going to your joint, right?
Yeah.
So he takes it off, then plants his elbow, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's like you kind of staying into the cable backwards, right? You kind of like got it with you, you pulled it, and then you rotate towards it, like being, and hopefully you can rotate and put your elbow down. But sometimes you just look right
Yeah.
and it sends you. But it's funny how interesting that he will.
Well, I think that's where you tweak yourself too. A lot of times is when you go and you set up or whatever, however you do it, and then you try and break the weight from a weird position. Like, to me, the most pain is breaking the weight. So like
100%.
9 times out of 10, if I'm doing a max effort day, I'm like, and the weight breaks. And the minute it breaks, I feel like I can do 5. So I feel the training is all in the break. And now I'm doing some of this stuff at home, and I have different cable pulley systems. And I'm starting to feel the difference in breaking the weight at home than breaking it on my equipment at the gym.
Mm-hmm,
So
right.
I'm looking at that and looking at the crane scale, but I'm also telling myself, like, this crane scale will even tell me that if I pull this weight back, it'll, like, maybe it takes 125 pounds of pressure when I break it. And then if I let it this way, it drops 10 pounds off. So it's only like 112 or something. So
Right.
like that break is even harder on certain pulley systems. So, and that's what's cool, I think, about the conjugate thing too, is as long as you're working on the same equipment, you're just you against you. But now if I'm incorporating it between 2 pulley systems, I'm like, oh shoot, now I got variables,
Yeah, and some of them feel like easier to pull against with.
Yeah.
Like that initial pick, you're right. I mean, everybody who like tried to like tug on the side pressure, that initial thing is almost like, dude, if I can lift this weight off the ground like by itself, like in before, I think my set will be easier. But that initial thing, yeah, there's a spike on that scale for sure, like, and then it goes down, and then like, I mean, I at this point I hate the crane scale because like they ran the crane scale on my cable that I work out at. And it's long, I guess, first of all. Second, there's like it's not as smooth, so sometimes add 20 pounds. It's crazy because I'm like, man, I mean, it can add a little bit. It can take a half out. I'm always expecting it's not full weight. It wasn't that. It was adding it, like, for me, 10 to 20, which is kind of a fun thing. At some point I realized, like, dude, I was touching 140, 150 side pressure at some point, if that's the case, because I was putting weight was like 120, 130 in there. I'm like, all right. But the crane scale, well, also makes you like, Well, no. Are you strong or not? Because sometimes you're out there like that 90 pounds are terrible. But I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's 10. It's like, there's probably like 100 or 110 in there. I'm okay. Okay, we good. We good. We good. I can do that. But yeah,
Well, we got to stop geeking out about side pressure. And you know, my goal is every time I come on a podcast where you're supposed to be interviewing me, I want to interview you. So
it's all right. Well, I mean, I think there's not enough like proper trading conversations anyway. So
yeah.
it's all good. Plus, people ask.
So you gonna be in Atlantic City, man?
No, not at all. Not at all.
No.
Well, no. We have Florida State. I do. You do know that. I mean, that I'm trying to talk to Robert and Dexter about like helping them and stuff.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you got it. I mean, look, you got it.
That is aimed for Atlantic City, so it's like if we can come up with something, we'll be there, like, and I'll work some.
Yeah, man. I don't like it's not this. I enjoy the events better when you're there, and you always capture the good behind the scenes crap. Like, by all means, we got to get you there. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, like, it's like
gotta happen.
It's in a weird, like, I feel like in a weird spot almost, where it's like, you know, like I've wanted to be, and I'm not even saying East versus West, but like, you know, you're going to those things like, dude, I want to be not part, but I want to be present at all of those.
You're caught between two worlds too, because you're like an elite level arm wrestler, but you're also, what did Travis call you? You're also a weirdo camera guy,
right? You know what I mean?
Well, but before that, before all of it, like your meteoric rise and all your like great stuff, like you've been putting content out and doing, you know, crazy videos that have gotten a lot of traction for a lot of years, you know, like if we rewind back to like pre-COVID, like obviously early on, Alex, you know, Top Roll was the premier channel to watch like arm wrestling tournament edits, you know, and then it was like you and who else? Ray sometimes, you know, there was a staple of channels that we all tuned into to get our North American or global or whatever.
You had Brad Cook for the tournament.
Yeah, Brad Cook. Yeah.
You know, you got Joseph Drellick for the Midwest tournament.
Right.
You got the guy Nick was from West Coast. There was at some point, like whenever Travis put the term, it was so funny. Like, dude, if you talk about this, like, let's keep like that's how camera guy thing went in the United States.
Well, you know how I know it's true. Like at one point, I tried to be a YouTube guy too, and I was like, "Oh, YouTube, I gotta get a camera. Who do I call?" I called you. I called Alex, and I called Brad Cook. I said, "All right, we're the camera guys. Tell me what to do. I'm stupid."
Yeah,
and I still didn't figure it out. That's how dumb I am.
Well, that's how it is with arm wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think to be an arm wrestler, well, I want to say, like, that's the only, like, well, not the only egotistical say I'm going to say this time, but one of the egotistical things I do want to say that I always been right. Like, from the day I started arm wrestling and my artistic thing to film this, like, it was no rhyme, no reason, but I was always right by trying that, and there was not always like a thought behind it. But now it is a thought. Now I can say that, like, if you don't do that, you're falling behind. Like a definition of a modern arm wrestler right now that is desired all the way. Because some of you guys, like, who watching this and who are like on this West card, they're really not that desired. They're desired because of the level. And that's what people don't understand. Level is actually the most important thing. Like, there's not that many people, and some people will want to say that about me, like, oh, you got there because social media. Like, I didn't get anywhere until I got a little bit better. So your level matters, like, firstly. And that what kind of thing upsets also the same promoters. They want you there because of your level, but they really wish you also were a hustler too. And a lot of the dudes are not hustlers at all. They are athletes. Like, but nowadays you have to put in work on social media too. Like, you have, like, I think it's bizarre that there is a, like, let me look at the card right now. What we got? Like, there are gonna be at least 2-3 dudes or girls, for example, that I mean, if you go to their Facebook page, they won't have even a link to watch their match.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for whatever, either they don't know or they kind of know they're gonna lose, so whatever. But anyhow, I think I was right by doing that. But you know how funny, like the whole like forum and how we got here is that like we always had people doing something with the tournaments, right? Gary Roberts, you know, whoever was before between, like there's people filmed events.
Yes.
Before with either they want to put some twist in there, you do want to ask people, you want to be silent, whatever. The content being there, you know what I'm saying? And then when I started doing that, I started doing everything. You know what I mean? It was tournaments, my stuff, training, podcast. Then it turned into like, hey, can you do a live stream? Like I went did live streams. I went did live streams for other people to like I had like, you know, I was, you know, before East vs. West was East vs. West and they got Robert Kelly and whatever. I did, you know, we did all of that like on ourselves, which kind of that's people that employed over there now. That's a lot of them came from that era, right? Mm-hmm. So that didn't become a thing yet. Like there was a lot of different stuff. A lot of people did different things, and then there was one point in life, like there was 1 year or 2 year period where like, because of people like me and Joseph, we're doing all that tournament stuff, right? We'll film events, make a highlight, whatever. Brad Cook saw that. He's like, dude, y'all fucking suck. Like, I'm gonna put videography stuff to it, right? And because you know, I like the buttery stuff too, like because I joined that stuff watching Pullerville videos.
Yeah.
So they had a bunch of good stuff, right?
Yes.
One of the biggest, like, you know, good RMS and highlights channel back in the days. So Brad brought it all back, and that's where things became funny. That's where I think how to say it, not to blow myself one more time, but I think we all created that weird thing to where like before as a promoter, you're totally fine by having a tournament. In that 2-3 year period, if you put on the tournament, you can have no payouts, you can have no medals, you cannot have 15 things. God forbid you don't have a camera guy at your tournament. There was
and the thing is too is like
you don't have one. If you're cool, you'll have 3 of them. You'll have Alex, me, Joseph fighting.
Yeah. But the thing is like you said, I think like, and I don't like, you know, me and you are buddies. I don't like being too nice to you, especially on camera. But ultimately, you add an artistic twist that, like, you know, and then, you know, Brad might have taken that to another level, you know, but pretty much everything you were doing early on had an artistic, like there was an edit, a nuance to it that not every person can do. Right. And, you know, you're one of them. You're one of those weirdo guys that, you know, you can do a million different things, the drawing, the graffiti, all the crap. Like I know enough about it now because I know you, but it takes a certain person like that, you know. And what I think the beauty of it is like now we got these East Coast events, or these Western events that are coming at top level. Like we need to have the Artem Taranenko's. We need to have the Brad Cooks. We need to have the Robert Kellys, like the grassroots, you know what I mean? The for us, by us type stuff. Like we, you know, East versus West was like a dream at one point. They came together during COVID and took off, and it was you know, we got to, like, the more that we can do within, I think is that, like, we're not, of course we're trying to reach new markets, right? Like, and we're trying, like, I think East versus West is doing a great job reaching out to new markets and expanding us. But the more of those internal guys that we have involved in it, the better it is for views to the internal audience, because there are people subscribed to your channel. There are people who watch all of Robert Kelly and Brad Cook's stuff and whoever else. You know, those are markets that, you know, maybe watching East versus West, but maybe not all of them. You know what I mean? I think it's important. Like, we have to have like unified views. Like there should be a standard baseline that East versus West never dips below. I don't know if that's the case, but like, I think the more involvement we have with established pullers who are very well knit into the community, the more stable that baseline will be, you know. And then all the extra stuff that we're doing with Chael Sonnen and, you know, the Brian Shaws and the Larry Wheels and all these getting into new markets and everything, then that just continues to raise that baseline. So I don't know. It's interesting. I just like to go to these events and see my boys, you know, like I like to get interviewed by my boys.
Right. I agree with you. I agree with you. That's
But here's the other thing. Arm wrestlers are never arm wrestlers first and only. You know what I mean? Like nobody comes out the womb and says, I'm an arm wrestler in the United States for sure, right? We are all 15 different things before we're an arm wrestler. And it just so happens that we have a lot of talented dudes in the arm wrestling community in their own fields of expertise. So like, to me, if the weirdo camera guy, artistic guy is to me, that has to be like a genetic trait almost. Like your artistic abilities, you probably had to learn some of them, but I know that I could never learn something genetically allows me. I can't draw, and I could have taken a million classes. I'm never going to be able to draw.
I disagree with that, but
you disagree?
I do disagree. I think, especially I'm watching some videos. I think it's a mindset and how you see things. You don't know how to do all that stuff just yet. That's like it's a yet thing.
You could be right. You could be right.
Well, it's called like what? A fixed mindset versus growth mindset.
Yeah, that's probably it. I'm a meathead. I'm like, go lift this weight. You know what I mean? Go move that object. Like brute force attack on everything.
Listen, my mom just hated me to be home, but I did have like desire to like draw and stuff. I hated art school, but my mom hated for me to be home. Every time after school, it's art school Monday, Wednesday, Friday, some gym activity, some athletic activity Tuesday, Thursday. You know, so basketball, snowboard. I'm allowed to go to the gym, whatever it is. Like, like you have a free evening? Not no more.
Yeah, that's good. That's good parenting. Because idle hands do the devil's work, man. Keep them busy, keep them moving, keep them active. As many things as possible.
Yeah. So I think shout out to my mom to doing all that, and I think.
Shout out to Mama Taranenko. Yes,
for sure. But you know what I'm trying to say, I guess, is East versus West. Yeah, like you said, like dude, I think what Travis have said, arm wrestling is really you're gonna hate yourself unless you're not gonna come up with a group of people that you're excited to see every single time. You know? Otherwise, it's kind of weird. It's weird to do that, you know what I mean? You're gonna get some wins, you know, blah blah blah, but like
but think about it. Like, think about spouses, significant others coming to these events and like not knowing anybody and having to sit for however many hours and hate their life. Like, we all know how spouses and significant others are about the arm wrestling journey. Like, I love my wife, but it's an exercise in tolerance for her when she has to go to all this stuff.
For sure.
But because she's not in that, like, and not seeing, of course, she's made some friends and some people she wants to see. But like when we go to arm wrestling events, like, oh, there's boom, 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 boom. You can't ADD because you're seeing everybody, and it's like, whoa, like I'm super comfortable here. This is where I want to be, you know, and that makes the competition aspect even better, you know, win or lose. So you're spot on, and that's the coolest part of it. The only people that want to be at arm wrestling tournaments is arm wrestlers, and it's not just to arm wrestle.
Yeah. And so that what brings out the not an issue, I guess, with East versus West, but like what we're missing out. Like we finally have this thing. It's what we kind of wanted. There was times where all the boys are there, you know what I mean? And everybody has a thing in place, you know what I mean? I don't like it. I'm talking about it because I feel like I'm not part of the gang anymore, but it's not kind of there, you know what I mean? Like the fact that Coach Trey is in charge of like whatever he's in charge of, like it's a good thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Benjamin diet doing his thing. The more
he's awesome.
As long as they're like, you know, there's like respect to them and stuff too. Like it is proper people, because I think that's what the problem is in leagues, like, you know, with WL, for example, right? Like there was too many outside employees who were like, yo, this dude is clearly a professional at whatever he's doing, like marketing, or whatever social media. We don't know him. He doesn't know. He clearly doesn't know arm wrestling. So this cozy for sure to see like people you arm wrestle with for wherever. Like, oh, all of a sudden you have this talent and you can work here. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. I think that's the coolest part of it, and I think that's a big differentiation from WAL. WAL was like, all right, this is a business with employees. Here's the employee that you communicate with in preparation for your match, and they're going to give you all the whatever. But, you go to East versus West. Here's Anna Gronlin, who is going to yell at you and bark at you, but you know her and you love her. So it's better. Like, all right, Anna, don't be mad at me. I'll be there. I'm sorry, I'm 1 minute late. You know what I mean? Whereas it's different when it's just an unknown employee. It's got it. That to me was it's the coolest part of East versus West, like a family type thing. Right. And then getting to meet all these guys from other countries and everything, and then also having that common ground, being a part of something, I think is huge. Like that it is like a grassroots league. That I think is what makes it so easy for me to root for the success of the league, because we all feel like, I think most everybody, speak for everybody, I feel like we're a part of that growth. Like that feeling like, okay, I'm helping, and of course I'm benefiting from it too, through the matches and the exposure, but I'm also helping that big picture. I think that's one of the things too, that like talk about some of the people who don't promote. I think at the sales point of like, help us, not do this because you have a contract, but help us do something great for this thing that we all love. Let's be a team. Let's all do like that approach to me. Like that would be the approach I would take with, let's say, a David Samusha who doesn't post anything. Like, listen, dog, you gotta help me. You gotta help us.
Well, especially like, dude, a Western world learned about Samusha because of that too. You know what I'm saying? It's such a mutual play. Like, dude, looking at WL, like WL put a lot of effort. Like you can put Paul Tabo WL, and there's a bunch of videos, a bunch of pictures. Paul Tabo didn't do dick the whole time. He was posted. There's so, like you become a low-key superstar or whatever. There's a term like mini influencer, right? But like, and the fact that like, dude, it costs money for somebody to promote you.
Yes, it does.
If you want to be like, dude, I want to get out there, all of a sudden you're gonna have to talk to people, pay them, like whatever. It's crazy. So but I think that's why like I'm where I'm at, where it's like I've done it all. I did it all for different things. I did it for like no compensation, because I'm burnout. Like I don't want or care as much. But seeing this, like, dude, like I'm motivated to help, because I'm seeing like finally like in my decade, because there's some people arm wrestlers for 20 or 30 years haven't like they wish they got here, but by now they don't care anymore.
We're on the cusp, man. We're on the cusp. I feel like we're on the cusp, and I feel like we need something big, like a streaming platform pickup or something like that. A big something to kind of go the sports way. There's going to be like a trigger point. There's going to be something that we hit something, boom, and trigger point, and we're either going to get to that or we're not. But ultimately, like the goal is let's get as many people working towards that as possible. Let's hit that trigger point, because it's the world's fickle. Social media itself is fickle. You can be forgotten way quicker than you were found. So like I just want to see us hit that launch pad. And I feel like it could be around any turn, and it could be caused by any number of things. So like, let's get as many people and cover as many bases as possible. Let's go.
Sure. Yeah, let's write it. And like you said, like how easy it is forgotten, how easy the things will be forgotten too. Like, dude, the things that you should think that matter, and like you're gonna explain and whatever. I've learned like the scary thing. The YouTube search eventually, like whatever the YouTube search will be, Artem Tarnenko versus such and such, or Paul Linn versus such and such. You're only gonna see that match, and you're not gonna know. You're not gonna know the bullshit or the drama that happened at that time. You see that match. Oh man, you don't want to know what happened, like all around that thing, and there wasn't even a real match. It was like, oh my god, that's crazy, right, dude? By the end of the day, you're the little YouTube search, and whatever the search comes up, that comes up. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
a lot of noise in between going to disappear or not even exist. So it's
Yep.
like, yeah, you gotta do something. You gotta do something, I think. And but so yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say here, it's awesome where we're at, and like you said, we are in the class with things. So that's why I'm still here. Like I'm like, dude, I'm kind of like I wanna help. I feel like because
Yeah.
uh, once, not once, so like if or when esports will disappear, there's going to be another project, and it's going to take a while to get the project somewhere
Yeah.
monetizable. Like we have this kind of amazing opportunity that's who knows who's in control of, right? Like it's still like all of us are, but
Yeah.
there's definitely we can all put in more effort for sure.
Yeah. It's group responsibility. It's group responsibility at the end of the day. It is what it is. We got to own it. We got to try and do our part. And everybody has their own niche. Everybody has their own style. Everybody, and one thing I did take from WAL that I did like and really resonated with me is, WAL wanted to drama as much as anybody. But the athlete coordinator, uh, you know, my match with Paul Talbot, and he was like, listen, um, when the lights get bright, and like everything starts going, I don't want you to do anything that you wouldn't normally do. I don't want you to try and be anybody that you wouldn't be. Just be the biggest version of you. And I think that is a really sound message to everybody. Like, let whatever your character traits, put them on full blast, whatever it is, whatever your style is. And that's not just as a puller, but in whatever you do, and I think that diversity and having as many people who do things different ways as possible is pretty cool. Like, I know we like to go for like uniformity and continuity and all that good stuff, but sometimes there's some value in some chaotic variance, which I think let everybody put their own spin on everything they do.
Right. But it's funny how many people don't even have that in them yet. And it's funny you brought up you and Paul Talbot, because I just heard it the other day when we were all part of the underground event.
Yeah.
Big thing. Bob Brown told us one specific thing before that, like, guys, y'all have to be bigger than life. Like, whatever, like, as soon as that thing, because, like, y'all are entertainment for all these people that in the crowd. And
Yeah.
like, during the prelimination, there was not a lot of people. The main show was at the end. But how soon that conversation was, like, Bob was like, hey, guys, go absolutely crazy.
Just go crazy, yeah.
30 seconds to a minute later, first match. Whatever it was, Paul Talbot, Robert Russell, silence.
Yeah.
Both of them. They're not just zero. Like it was a boring, absolutely terrible match to watch from him. The next one, and until like me and John start yelling at each other, and that was kind of like not that great. So people don't even have that ability sometimes, and it's crazy to like, yo, do something for us. Like really something. Make it look fucking interesting.
Yeah. It's weird, man. It's weird. And I think every person, regardless of if they have whatever that charisma or whatever that thing is, whether you have it or you don't, there is a way to promote and market everything. But it's all about the story around it and how it's talked about. Samusha's a great example. That guy doesn't say anything. He's stone cold, stone faced and everything. But like a little inside scoop on the guy would help you understand him a little bit more. Like he's, like a backstory on Samusha, like catch Samusha about, 8 drinks in after the event. And you're like, okay, now I see like this guy does have something, Yeah.
Plus also like talk to any Georgians about Samusha. They all describe Samusha in this raging, non-serious alcoholic that doesn't care about anything, then comes and just crushes everybody.
Yep.
Ask
like let's talk about that. They always kind of shit on him for not training hard or like being crazy, smoking cigarettes and drinking out, and like and that's what he does, and he's a goof, and I love it, and I love him, but that's the only reason is because I know him, but nobody else knows him.
You will not know. You will not know.
Yeah, but if you grab some of that backstory stuff, if the cameras are rolling after the event, like that's the stuff you got to grab.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like I remember I'm not gonna tell what me and Bulgarians were doing because it's illegal to say on this podcast. However, once I've learned that Sasha was vegan at like 2, 3 in the
Yeah.
morning, I'm like, this motherfucker, this jack dude out there just order lentils. I'm like, I don't know
Yeah.
what lentils looks like, bro. What are we, a vegan?
Yeah.
Like,
That's the stuff you got to talk about. He's a full-blown vegan for years. Like, how are you that strong?
Crazy out there 4 in the morning eating lentils. Oh the fuck, dude! I didn't even know you can get. I didn't know what lentils looked like at that moment. Okay, and all of a sudden my mind had that. It was his diet. And
that's the stuff that got to be captured, though. That's the things. Like those are the things that build the characters. You know, and we from the West, who, you know, we live so much on social media and we have access to see the people that we follow like throughout their whole life. You know, like most people are so like, and I think that's one of the things about Devin. Like everybody knows how Devin lives. You know, obviously he's an extreme example, but Devin gives you a glimpse into his life all the time. And that's the stuff that needs to be highlighted, I think, a lot of times in the Europeans, because us Westerners, like we just see what we see on camera during the match. But then you realize, okay, this guy does all this other cool stuff too. You know what I mean? Like probably my best experiences at East versus West are after the events using Google Translate and at the bar with these guys from different wherever. You know, that's where the stuff, like that's the stuff that people, I wish they could see and be a part of.
This guy said, I'm trying to picture Samusha drinking and smoking. Yeah, it's very easy.
Buddy, we've been at, I think I've been at like 6 events with him, and afterwards is the exact same every event. Pretty like we're at the bar trading shots of vodka and Google Translate and laughing, and it's
to kind of conclude that, and another thing what people do not do, you know, there's a couple people called it out, like WL called it out about behavior, right? And we keep bringing up like you have to do something, right? And I heard Don called everybody out too at one of the East versus West. I was not there, but there was like a press conference where Don was like, hey, it almost looks like you guys scared to tell people that you're arm wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God.
I remember you and I talking about that.
Well, yeah. Whenever, like, yeah. And it's easier to understand from what you said earlier too. Like, you now in a match against Bogdan, who is like kind of an underdog. So it's a different thing. It's so hard to talk about the match where like even like the chances are like yeah, and you have to tell your family, hey, go buy that pay-per-view. That's the most humble text to do when you know you're such an underdog and anything you do is so incredible. If something going to happen, sending those texts, hey, buy the pay-per-view. There are some people that there's people at East versus West that have not sent one of those texts because they knew the outcome. You know, they were so unconfident in it, right?
The king of the table feel was a little bit different though too. Like, they were very, 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 very pushy and demanding for a certain level of social media content, which I understand that expectation, but the volume of posts, the redundancy was tricky, and it definitely made you feel a little bit like, all right, I am working more to create posts of training than I am focusing on training. And then you also get the feel of like, okay, you want me to post, 2 stories a day. And it's like, I'm just posting the same stuff over and over kind of. And it's like, I know when I continually post the same stuff that my stories get less views. Mm-hmm. And they dwindle. And if you watch it, like the algorithm, they just stop picking it up, they stop pushing it. So it's almost like, to me, I always took the approach of like, rather than me being my redundant, boring self saying the same stuff over and over, let me just try and get on a bunch of podcasts that have different reaches, and I highlighted that to them at one point. I said, leading up to my match with Lachlan and Dare, I said, I've never posted more and I've never got this few views on my posts because of the redundancy. And I want to make sure you guys know that I've been on 9 podcasts. Now I'm telling full disclosure, not all those podcasts got a lot of views. However, each one of those podcasts has a different set of viewers. So to me, I dedicated a lot of time in promoting that match. So there's like weird, like, how do you do it? How do you do it right? And like, and if there's certain people that just don't have the creativity or the gumption to do it, how do you provide them material so that they can post it? You know, but ultimately, if an athlete doesn't really want to grow their platform, it doesn't really matter. So if they have no interest in growing a platform or a following, what can you do?
Well, right, but like we are getting, like you said, on this class with us, where it's like it's kind of like becoming a part of thing. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to make a video almost today. Like I have my school platform where like I kind of target like younger audience and what and how to do and stuff. I wanted to make a video about like how to get invited to the next super match after your first one, because like
Yeah.
dude, it's
I love
not
that. You definitely should do that.
not necessarily about fucking you winning or losing, because like
You definitely should do that. So like there for a while, people love training videos. I think we flooded the airwaves with training videos. Everybody knows how to train now, and if they don't, then they just don't know how to use Google. But now I think, and I had this conversation with Ryan at one point. Ryan posted all these training videos, and I was like, Ryan, you need, like, you're doing online coaching, you need to do social media coaching. Because to me, Ryan Bone's like the primary example of how to build a social media following. Like through rights and wrongs and different whatever, he's been tremendous in his process. Like watching him the whole way through, like he understands the information that he has to share on that, you know, building a social media platform, building draw, like getting yourself matches, all these things. Like Ryan, you obviously have a great, like, that is to me more valuable than me seeing you do side pressure 10 times a week or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, show me how to use this camera, dog.
I got you.
Like,
Yeah.
Help me understand an algorithm. I'm a dum-dum, you know? But seriously though, like how to that would be pretty cool. And it would be pretty cool to see somebody listen to your educational thing on how to do it and then come back 3 months from now and say, look, I grew my social media ×3. That'd be a pretty cool, like, before and after.
And that's like, I won't even like social media is a big part of it, but I think there's like, I know, like I have to like come up and write it down, because like I'm just speaking on top of my head, but like there's so many points, because I've been to so many events, and I hear all the trash talk. I hear the promoters, I hear the picking dudes up, I hear what type of shit to talk about each other, right? And like everybody hates this one dude who always gonna come late. Everybody hates this one dude. They're gonna mess up his signature. He's gonna lick the ink on the shirt, blah blah blah. So like, dude, there's a lot of things that really not about like winning or losing. But Travis said it once. Me and Travis he was part of something, like an East versus West or Challenger Series or whatever. And he said a very important thing, and it's funny coming from Travis Bajan. He was like, "Hey, dude, we gotta post this and do this, this, and this, because I'm the weakest on this thing." And I'm like, and Vic is not saying from the power standpoint, but from the image standpoint. Like, listen, if you're the guy that's like on the bottom pole from the power, maybe social media point, whatever is getting asked of you has to be excellent. Your communication has to be on point. You have to be on time. You cannot be rude. Whatever's getting asked of you not only have to be done, it has to be done fast, because you kind of have to like put like almost show that like, this is important and it matters. A lot of the dudes,
Travis is smart, man. He's smart, and he is really good at what he decides to be good at.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good way of putting it. So that's like, dude, some dudes are not in the next event only because like they're super hard to work with. Like, the demand is going to be there. The demand going to overcome everything. If the people want Dennis and Devin, the promoter is going to suck it and swallow it and make arrangements and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much they hate one or the other. You know what I'm saying? But if you like in the position to be desired, you have a lot of tools, because people at a higher level drop a lot of those tools. They are not as active, not as interested, maybe not as sharp or whatever. They're strong in certain things. The newer, hungry dudes, they kind of, they will show up on time. You want them 13 stories, they'll do 14 stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They will put that extra work. They'll show up on the podcast, and like that's important to do because like sometimes, like dude, especially you know this by making small tournaments, right? By organizing things around your thing. You do want to promote and you do want to like get a high level athlete or whatever, but dude, you are open to a couple small super matches to have tournaments because guess what? The small super matches guys, they just want a platform. Yo, how many Facebook posts you see like, hey, who can host me and so? And it sounds terrible, but like, dude, like, yeah, a lot of people like, yeah, hey, all you have to do is give them a platform and they'll promote it, they'll talk shit to each other, and they'll have a match.
Yeah, and that's a good point because like we've talked before about the challenge matches that get the titles of super matches and people wanting to pull at a lower level. And you and I have gone back and forth about this, about the pros and the cons. And there's definitely cons. But what it definitely shows is that person who wants that match is confident in the spotlight, wants the attention, wants the notoriety. Like he may be, depending, regardless of level, he may be that next level in a willingness to compete on a big stage or like comfortability with promotion and things like that. Because you don't ask for a match if you're a guy who wants to be quiet and you know what I mean. And maybe your level's not even there yet. But if you're the dude who's like, give me a match at every event, you know what I mean, until my level catches up, like that's a dude who's going to be a go-getter. And you know, Logan Bittinger jumps out to me as like the prime example of that.
Can we talk about him? Because Jeremy asked a question. What do you think about Jeremy and Logan pulling this weekend?
I think that's a real good match. I don't know how to pick it. I've met Jeremy Parker. I think he's awesome. Like super awesome. Sky's the limit. Like he's a real, like, you know, he gets tons of social media traction on like things that most arm wrestlers can't get traction on. So he's become like viral in that aspect. Obviously, Logan has kind of become viral with the win on Devin. Logan's a local guy. I love the dude. I think this is like a match that I actually talked to Michael Todd about. So you need to book this match. Like, because I don't know who's going to win and I want to see it. And I think it's the clash of like the future guys who both have these things that like they're neither of them are going to stay in like they're going to continue to advance no matter what. No matter how the outcome of that match will not slow either of these guys down. And I think it's a super interesting match. And I think I don't even know how to make a favorite on it. But I think it's going to be really, really good. And I think that's the type of match that I want to see. You know what I mean? People are like, oh, like there's certain matches out there that I really want to see, you know? And that's one of them. That match matters to me a lot. And you're like, well, why does it matter to you? Well, because I'm kind of invested in both of these guys. And I also see like future aspects in both of them, you know? So I think it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be real good. I don't know how it goes.
I think you have to be careful with what you said. I think you said doesn't matter. You said both of them are gonna keep going. Like, dude, sometimes that one loss.
I don't know. I don't see in either one of those guys.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So I'm talking about their human, the humans that they are. Yeah. I don't see either of them taking a loss and not getting better from it. I think like you said, like what you're pointing at is like there's definitely guys that, you know, all right, the steam is out of the engine now because of this one thing. And you're gonna, like, you talk about like, you know, what, like that Brian Bowen match with Bogdan. Now everybody has him labeled as that, but it surely hasn't stopped Bogdan from having 48 freaking matches. You know what I mean? And beating everybody and doing all kind of crazy stuff until, you know, people finally, okay, now the news is out. Right. So maybe it took this match for the news to get out. But like, I don't think that those two human beings can be derailed by a momentary loss.
I got you. Yeah,
I could be wrong, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna say like I feel like it does happen, but yeah, both of those. I feel like Jeremy comes off to me is more. Jeremy comes off more. What am I trying? I don't want to say normal, but like common sensual or like maybe less hot. Logan seems a little hot, man. You
Yeah,
know,
that's what I
Logan,
like though. That's kind of
yeah,
what I like about
Logan.
it.
There's a couple of those dudes nowadays that we don't mention the names. We will not have mentioned the name like 2-3 years ago. I think there's a couple like this funny hot dudes, right? That like the arm wrestling is everything to them, and you can see
Mm-hmm.
it. I think it's Bryce Meadows. I think the
Mm-hmm.
guy's name who just pulled like Roger.
Yeah,
Logan. We got Jeremy Parker. We got Easton. Easton is also like, I mean, Easton's that pushing him hard too. McCormick and
yeah,
like we have those dudes
yeah.
who
But
like,
they're pushing, and that just goes back to what we talked about.
yeah,
You want it, go push, like one way or another. Like, and sometimes it happens more organically. Sometimes it takes more effort, but it definitely takes a confidence level to put yourself out there too, to put videos out and let people have a glimpse of what you're doing or whatever. So I think it really ties back into what we were saying. But hey, I don't want to. I got another podcast I got to jump on here in 1 minute.
oh, in 1 minute.
1 minute. Hey,
God.
we've been on here for like an hour and a half, and
Yeah.
this happens every time we do these things.
I know.
And we didn't even get to like match breakdowns. We don't have to do it. We have to run this back.
Well, we can talk about I want to talk about your match. We can talk about the other ones later. If you have are you going?
Yeah.
Are you going to do it through the fingers right now?
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Yeah, they were like, say some conversation to the fingers. Just kidding.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, you go there. I guess I'm gonna finish answering the comments.
We can do another one too if you want to just do our own BS way of going through all these matches and talking and disagreeing and whatever. We can do that too.
We will have to. So we'll just pick a day. I don't know, like next week or sometime this week. Yeah,
I'm pretty good throughout this week. I'm like, I tell you, I had to work a ton and now I'm taking like a week off. So I still got weird things here and there, and my days off are never off. But yeah, we can definitely do one whenever. You just shoot me some times whenever you're free. Everybody, buy the pay-per-view. Let's all do our part. Let's buy the pay-per-view. Okay. Yes. December 13th. If you're on the East Coast, please come see us, because I tell you, I promise we're not always getting these behind the scenes stuff. And the coolest parts of these events are the behind the scenes stuff that you got to be there for it. And I'd love to meet all y'all there. So hopefully we see you on December 13th in person or online.
Hell yeah! And if me and Robert and Dexter get to conversations, maybe I'll get there too.
Yes. Yeah. We. That's why I say we.
We'll see. Yeah. I mean, the conversation goes so far too. We may be onto something. Maybe we'll redo our relationship with East versus West now. We'll see what happens. I'm very open.
Let's do it.
Paul, thank you. You go around to the guys. Maybe I'll join you, maybe not, but I'm gonna just finish if I upset some people off. Oh, Paul, who's your favorite NFL player? Is it Trotter?
Oh, that's a good guess. At one point it was, but my favorite all-time most influential NFL player to me was Ray Lewis, mainly because of his mind state and playing the same position as him during basically the same time. So yeah, he was, is, and always will be my favorite NFL player.
Well, it's Tyson Bagent for me, so everybody.
Yes, hey, that's a good point. I was gonna say too. We're talking about Travis. On Friday, I'm gonna go to the game, the Eagles game with Travis, and go see it. My son is elated. We're gonna get our Tyson Bagent signed jersey. Hopefully, get some sideline time. So check out my social media. We'll see if I can post some stuff from that.
Be careful with Travis, man. That jersey is gonna be $300. Even though
I know. I already know.
It's his signature too, not Tyson's. Be careful.
Don't doubt that.
Gotta watch who does that, man.
I'm gonna. Hey, don't be putting that out there now. Yeah, he's gonna be all mad. But I'll take it either way.
No, I know Tyson signs his own, but that signature is close, man.
I'm gonna see Tyson. I'm gonna have him sign it again and videotape it for
whenever Tyson signed one for me. I filmed it just so
exactly. That's what I'm gonna do, and that's what people want. Like, if you want memorabilia, you need like proof of authenticity, and we know that we need that with Travis for sure.
Exactly.
All right, guys.
All right, player. Have a good one. All right, you guys. If y'all want to see more of Paul Linn, he is on Through the Fingers podcast right now. I'm gonna highlight their super chat once again somewhere here. Boom. Save some conversation to the Through the Fingers. I didn't know they're doing it on the same day. Paul did not tell me they're doing the same day podcast because I'm kind of not a fan of taking people of the double podcast because Paul was doing one yesterday with East versus West. However, me and him talked about one yesterday too. But then he told me he's doing that also now, and I'm like, oh well, I don't want you from an hour there and then an hour with me and vice versa, right? Because like he's about to go through the fingers and talk about similar stuff, and the conversation gets very funny because I've done it so many times. Paul did it to me today, which I don't blame him, but you always say, like I was saying in my other podcast, because you've said the same information like yesterday, and maybe today you just kind of, adding it or proving it, or like you maybe be able to polish it in a way. So that's the thing. So I like my guest the same day. So if Paul will have told me he's doing through the fingers today as well, I would be like, man, I'll see you Wednesday because I'm trying to have you back to back. I think, especially now, like Paul is about to do another hour with the dudes. I think by 9 o'clock, doing all the talking for 2 hours while it's exhausting, it refires your brain. So Paul not gonna go to bed, I think, till 10, 11 o'clock because his, brain is all into this conversation. Unless he's gonna get shut down, like at the end of the conversation type deal. Let's see. Oh, thank you. So said that. I'm gonna read a little bit because you guys talk some trash. Bell Pro High in the house. What's up, Craig and the Davis? Dude, there was a couple of good suggestions that we should talk about, like Paul Linn and Tadzilla. Good one to set up or even talk about. Dude, and so the drill was like, it's a purse for perfumes, but didn't have enough time. And we Paul were talking. I was like, sure, this is my pencil bag, but if you want for perfumes, I have this little Chanel, right? I can be like, huh? Boom, well, creed out of it. So this Chanel can be for the perfume, that little beach bag. Just want to show off something anyway. What else? I brought some stuff to talk trash. I'm like, this is actually came for the pencils, little pencil makeup thing. Have a little eraser pocket too. Have a couple of makeup bags. All right. Where is Tell Me I'm the Greatest podcast? He was supposed to talk about Travis today. He was going to do one with me today. That didn't happen, unfortunately. So I dropped the ball, didn't reach out to him because usually that's, if you guys been watching this, you know how it is. It's quick text. Yo, 30 minutes, hour, boom, let's go. Let's make it happen. Do you have guests? But we just made it happen 25 minutes ago. Do you think there's somebody else have a day off on a Tuesday? What are we talking about? So, we're gonna have Tell Me I'm the Greatest at least this and next week for sure. Artem, you spelled it wrong. Side Pressure Princess. I don't feel like princess today. It's a prince situation. Sometimes I feel like, should I just tell everyone like I'm heavy, like I'm not gay, but she'll be like, guys, I'm bi, so y'all call me princess, prince, whatever. I'm not, but like just to troll you a little bit. It's like telling Americans you're Muslim. Nothing wrong with being Muslim, but you're typical Southerner. You go, oh my god, you're from another planet. Oh my god, like dude, the same book, different story. Artem's a good artist. He has a good stuff like that. I appreciate you. If you're able to piss off Paul, you're a special person. I've never seen anybody piss off Paul, but I have heard Paul talk about somebody that he kind of didn't like, and that was very new conversation to have. I'm like, dude, I've never heard you talk like that. I didn't know you have that. You have that little bit in you that you are a real person. Because Paul is extremely nice. Where people have said jokes about that he's too nice, but yeah, dude is positive. Dude is genuinely out there smiling the whole time. So Never had problems with one. Paul Linn. How much side pressure does it take to defeat a giant or state level super heavyweight? It does depends on the state. State level super. I mean, by the time you reach like 90 to 100 pound side pressure, um, unless you live in some crazy state. But if you talk about just a state level guy, yeah, by the time you're reaching to the 90, 100 pounds, you could probably beat them before, but because there's a lot more than just side pressure in your training. But um, yeah, I'll say that number is where you're gonna get active, where you're gonna get around. State level super heavyweight. Interesting term. If that means that that person cannot read much outside of the state, then maybe even less. How much alcohol is acceptable to consume before a super match? You know what? Technically zero, because alcohol is a toxin. Your body stop doing anything but getting rid of that toxin in your body as soon as it enter your body. So like your functions stop, and your body is not processing this alcohol the whole time. So probably none. Connor Sale. Damn, Connor, the more armed gods is prevailing in your country, the now your level of questions deteriorate like this. That's crazy. Next thing you know, Connor like, hey, how much heroin can you do before a super match? Come on, man. What y'all doing out there in that little English continent? Call Neil Pickup. Neil Pickup will make you ask proper questions, man. Okay. Let me. I keep reading. Gary Robb was pretty good, I thought. He was good at interviewing and asking people questions. That he was. Gary. I mean, I guess that's it. Gary had his style. Gary was curious, and he wanted to show that to people for sure. Are there any private bet you want on Denver Savant? Don't read into the practice pool too much. What do you guys think about the practice pool? If you want to know my opinion, I looked at it. I've been looking at it all for the past couple of days, and from being at practice myself, I've practiced a couple times with people. It's a lot harder to let people go against you and hold on. So you cannot gauge Levant's actual power in that video. You can gauge how, if you kind of been there, you know that it takes a lot to just hold on to somebody and not just go against them, because like just initial little go and holding them from there, it's different than just you go and I'll catch, right? So I would not recommend anybody taking some mega bets on that. I will say from that you can see that sure Devon has improved for practice pool, or it's fucking practice. If Devon and Levant had an opportunity to practice a lot more, he probably have gotten so many pins on Levant. Like Levant loses to guys smaller than him at practices. Like it's okay. Like it have happened, but because those guys are not aligning very often, it looks very special. It considers special, and yeah, I mean from what I've seen, if they're gonna pull in an actual match, Levant is way stronger, and Levant got it. So that's all. If y'all heard this, it's a 13-year-old over there raging on the game, just like his dad. How about Jeremy Park getting on the spin? We talked about this on I think in the previous podcast actually, because Jeremy kind of comes in pretty early, and I did tell him that it's awesome, and he needs to go crazy about that. Did because once you get the thing, you have to like catch it on the traction. Yeah. You're really gonna come here asking for this shit during the fucking podcast, motherfucker? Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Just making that I got some trees too.
I got you. No, I'm sober, man. We good. Don't come up. But for that stuff, it's over there in the corner.
Jesus Christ. All right, don't be knocking on my door.
Alrighty. So yeah, like I said, Jeremy needs to whatever this condition that he been posting and reposting like on different platforms, repeat, rinse, repeat, go crazy. I think Brian was a victim services. Also think he's still on board. Just decide you can hack, not letting anyone big pull at his storyman. I feel like you see him as a threat and not an asset. Oh, that thing, yeah. What did happen over there? Well, you know what? I think what I know from happened there, like I know what from Brian's video. Like I think Brian talked about that. There's been wishy-washy stuff about the event, how it's was supposed to happen, not supposed to happen. So yeah, I do wonder. I'm thinking many of the big Eastern names will have pulled at Short Classic anyway, especially since he was Sweden's backward nearly sorted. I don't know. That event was like also didn't like East West didn't exist there for a second. Like the whole thing was Engen happened. It was a tough time, and I think maybe they should have given more control to Brian during that time, and that didn't happen. But who knows? I'm trying to picture Samusha drinking and smoking. That comment still kills me. Like, dude, there's a lot of the stories I've heard of, like Gennady, like some of those dudes who are able to party really hard, almost the day off, almost like whenever, and compete on such a high level. It's crazy. It's crazy to, how from some people are just that. Can you call somebody else, motherfucker? God damn. Out here dying. Somebody in the super chat could be like, yo, call 911 on this bitch. Send money for medicine, man. I've got almost 100 different Tyson cards. Paul didn't suck. He was glazing Engen just in case Engen on the league again. He has no morals. Oh, come on, man. If you know Engen, if you know Paul is just the nicest guy ever, like, I don't think Paul's face is the definition of like glazing. Paul is just always going to be nice to everybody, and you have to be careful. It's not about Engen owning it. Engen is still a real person who did a thing that nobody have done in arm wrestling ever, as far as like East versus West is concerned. Like him creating that and running that and putting it on the level that he did. You can disagree with you. I mean, I'm the last person to fan over Engen. Like, Engen done it wrong so many times, whether I deserved it or like most of the times I did not. Like how I was treated by another human being, it is astonishing how all of us could take that. However, and that's the thing about people who, if you know somebody that you consider a bad person, and all of a sudden they're doing good for you, right? And you have to take that, right? A lot of us gonna be like, oh man, I know he's not a good person, but he's going to do things, so he probably doing it for whatever. But that person knows that too. That person know that, and sometimes they're just wishing for that acceptance. They know they're hard on many different reasons. Can they be accepted in the circumstances? Can you not look for what was behind whatever? Like, take a nice gesture as a nice gesture. What is it? AAP, IPI, always positive intent. You know, what I'm saying given and taken. So that's all. I mean, I can hate Engen for 100 different things, right? But the fact that he created East versus West, and what he turned it into is incredible and seems impossible to be done, like from the human being in his position, I mean, where he's at, his age, and everything. Different given who he is, right? The level of arm wrestling that the Engen got himself to, a level of respect by other people he got himself. So that takes a lot. So while sure he is one of the most difficult person and not the person to be in a position of like a CEO or organizer or whatever, different levels of skills, you cannot deny that or should not deny that. So I have to be careful how you talk about Engen now. You know what I mean? Like not from perspective. I'm the last person to be scared of like not to get hired somewhere again, right? Like, but respects have to be given, and the things that have been bad, remember, take them away. 231 class at AC. No, David, David Shubich. I've talked about that. I won't be at AC and I feel sad. Like, I wanted to be at all East versus West events. Like, not wanted, but I consider that things will be cool for me to be there. Like, it's big thing that's kind of like what my life is around, like being this arm wrestling content creator, like part like who loves tournaments. Aren't we want to be at the biggest thing of the year, and every time the biggest thing is that? But no, like with East versus West being in Atlantic City, like no, like last year Atlantic City was not fun as far as you know the amount of people, I mean, the people were fine. The people were fine. I mean, it's all you guys. It's Eastern crowd. The Northeast, like good people, but it wasn't busy. As somebody's told me, the reason it's being at Atlantic City this time of the year is because, like, any other time of the year is kind of busier. But I don't know. Like, Atlantic City seemed to be like pretty bad. Like, as far as like not East versus West, but as far as Atlantic City, it seemed like a pretty terrible location to be at. So I don't know. I don't know about that. So I wasn't a fan, and so I don't want to go there based on the location. And then looking at the card is not like something you're gonna miss anything. I am gonna miss my people. I'm gonna miss everybody. This motherfucker. I'm gonna miss watching Paul Linn, like watching Paul Bogdan, watching what do we got? I mean, like I'm curious to see Jason pull Mayan. I'm curious to see Borman pulling Schoolboy. What else we got? Caderet and Camille. I think that's also interesting. So, yeah, I mean, like there's a couple matches I will not hate seeing, but I'm just it's not that appealing overall to kind of come, go spend your money, and I don't know. Used to be funner, used to be more motivating. Guess I don't feel like I need to explain myself too much by not going somewhere. Mostly, if I am going somewhere, I better question myself and answer some questions. But all right, David, I'll miss you too. guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm still live, Drew. I think you disappeared. I tried to show you my perfume bag that you mentioned. I'm like, see, I can be like, boop, boop, boop. There we are. That's all my perfume joke. Alrighty, guys. I'm a bounce out of here. If anybody wants to watch more arm wrestling, I'm pretty sure Through the Fingers podcast is on now with Paul Linn. Go ahead, hop on. Yeah, Creed is awesome. I have I mean, in the house we have like maybe like 10. We have over 10 Creed bottles in the house of different kinds. Well, you know what? The perfume bag was kind of this one. It was kind of like I think I put this one in here. But, it has a pencil pocket too, so that's a perfume bag. Duh, Drew. All right, fellas. Like once again, but I have original Santo, and that's it. But most of them are good. Original Santo. Drew, is Vegas even like a thing nowadays? I keep seeing like Vegas is also like dying and nobody's going there. I love Vegas. But I was like, well, I don't know. Like I look forward to Vegas since like it's full of vices, but now like I don't want to smoke. I don't drink. I don't really partake in or rather not partake in quick sex. So it's like I'll go for the mountains and food, but that has to be kind of scheduled in, penciled in. Original Santo, that's what I was trying to look up. Well, it's not the original Santo, but it's just a Santo, I think. Oh no, it is original Santo, huh? Is it? Create original Santo. Ooh, that's a weird one. That's a weird. I have never seen anybody purchase that one or even mention. What's his performance and what's the notes? Aromatic. Oh, foie gras and ambery. I like me an amber smell. What we got? We got ginger. Can I show you guys the thing? I can't. Let's add share screen. Boom. Okay, guys. This is via the Creed website. That's a good price for Creed of the website for 100 ml. However, if you want to buy it really cheap, go to Costco or Sam's. It will be about $300. If you can find it there, go to harris.com. But do not, unless you want original packaging and you want samples and be in the Creed system, there's no need to spend this much money on brand new Creed. You can get a brand new Creed. You can even go to TJ Maxx website. TJ Maxx will have them for a little cheaper. But anyhow, what are the notes? I see, like I said, I see ginger. I see that's probably mint. I guess that's amber, orchid, vanilla orchid over there, vanilla shtick. Let's just read. Ginger, juniper berries, bergamot, rosemary. It is rosemary. So interesting. Coriander, mandarin. Hard notes, lavender, orange blossom, sandalwood. Oh, come on, cedar. So cedarwood, sandalwood, and this ginger and bergamot. So this is kind of like a Creed version of Baccarat 540, because Baccarat is cedarwood and it's cedar and saffron. There's no saffron here, but it's kind of like sounds similar to me. Interesting. So what's the performance? If you tell me the performance is good, doesn't sound too bad. because freeze performance is not the best. Oh, did I talk about all that shit and I gonna click? That's terrible. Smells clean. Solid 5-6 hour performance. So what the smells actually is that like smells? Oh, it says smells clean. You try any Montserrat? My favorite house. No, but let's look it up. No, never have that. I don't think we have that here. But anyhow, since but again, I guess I messed it up. So this is original Santo. The price here for 90. You can, like I said, you can get that at TJ Maxx, Costco. The things a little cheaper if you can look around. Oh, it doesn't want to click at the 500. Okay, no problem. Exit. How do I exit? I don't want to add it to cart. Okay, so anyhow, I was looking at this. There's some mint here. Look like there's an oregano thing, ginger, vanilla stick, orchid, whatever. But reading and all that, there's ginger, juniper berries, mandarin, whatever. But important ones, I think the cedarwood here, tonka bean, probably vanilla. So there's I think it's clean, like manly smell, and maybe a little fruity too, considering all of this. I kind of want to try it, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. We don't have that one here. We have Irish Street. I have Absolute. I have the Centris. You know, the normal bottle, the black bottle, the Hulk juice. It maybe got attached to 540. That's a lavender sandalwood, a big part of it. Yeah. I can see that with the notes. Excited. I will smell it next time I'm somewhere. My favorite perfume, not favorite perfume, I guess, but house. I do like Tiger nowadays, like from Bulgaria. I would like to try that again, but that's really expensive. Like all the things are mega expensive. I didn't appreciate a lot my Angel Share by Killian, but now it's gone. Like it's kind of also like that manly upper smell, right? Excited for that one. What else? YSL Tuxedo. That's another one I like. It's also vanilla amberish. They're not very clean. It's very like on the amber vanilla side of things, but I like it. Bringing a Jeremy Fragrance and Artem collab. Dude, so you know what? If you want to speak about the best colognes, then yeah, I think the best bet for your buck too. If you guys you have to go to the original website because it's super expensive anywhere else. But if you go to Jeremy Fragrance, if you put like that on Google search, it will put you. I think Jeremy Fragrance website is called like One Fragrance or something. There's this thing called Date by Jeremy Fragrance. It's like $89. Girls and boys, one of the best things you can buy for that amount of money. Because when you get to this really good colognes that you're gonna enjoy, they are from $300 to over $1,000. So it's hard to find that niche like significant smell. And maybe if you like more open-minded, probably not. You can get some Arabic oily mask that's probably costs $14, but it'll last decades and you will never get rid of it. Type shit, right? But Jeremy Fragrance, $89. Boy, amazing smell. The Office one popular too, but Date is dangerous. People will be smelling you get compliments, easy work. The best $89, probably $100 all shipping tax you're gonna spend, and you're gonna get Creed-like experience. You can also try Mont Blanc individual. I heard about that. Heard about Mont Blancs. It's my version of the original Santal. I mean, I'll just go. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. We have plenty of stores. I mean, I don't have all the money to just be buying shit, but I can go to my local store. My crate lady actually likes me there. Usually, like it's super tall salesman lady. We always chat and stuff. She'll hooks me up. I probably can go smell get a little sample, go home, holidays. Never know. But gosh, my fragrance. What's Montserrat's smell could be suggested too. I'll probably, now that you said that, they're probably gonna pop in my timeline somewhere, whatever. Like, you know, hype for a reason, dude. We need to start making perfume channel, man. I'm gonna be like this in earthy smells, earthiness, good notes. You know, if I'm gonna have like a fragrance channel, I'm gonna be very artistic with my hands, I guess. Okay, blind bite, dude. It's a great blind bite. It's a great it's if I don't know if you have to be a fan because it seemed like it's such a good smell. It is a very. I am putting it into like Bulgarian tigers, like amberish, boozier, complex, manly smells. It's not like Louis Vuitton Imagination or like Aventus, where like very unisex, very like you can just spray it and clean. Like Date is very has some character to it. You know what I'm saying? Like your clothes gonna smell cool. Like like there's some romantic atmosphere to that date. So let me know, David. And if you hate it, let me know. I'll send you $100. That's how much I love you, David. But if you like it, I better not hear that shit. Buy me another bottle. You owe me $100 if you like it. But if you hate it, David, I will pay for it. You can clip it. All right, fellas. I've been personally here for 2 hours. And finally, even the camera died. Okay. Let me switch myself. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you guys next time. Oh, you can see I drool. See you guys next time. I appreciate the amount of people I've gotten here because I don't know if it's me or Paul Linn, obviously Paul, but love it. I love seeing the increase of numbers, and I love that I'm active. So it's funny, this thing has its own life.